Hafa and good afternoon. Thank you everyone for being here today. The Committee on Education, Air Transportation, and Statistics Research and Planning will now convene this confirmation hearing. Today is August 2nd, 2019, and it is currently 5:29 p.m. For the record and in accordance with open government law, public notices were sent out via email to all senators, stakeholders, and all main media broadcasting outlets on July 26, 2019. And the second notice on July 31st, 2019. Notice of today's public hearing was also available on the Guam Legislature's website. Today on the agenda, we have the appointment of Mr. Jesse J. Kenga to serve as a member of the Guam Academy Charter Schools Council. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Kenga and anyone that would like to testify on his behalf to the table. Thank you, Mr. Kenga. For the record, I would like to acknowledge that we have several written testimonies in support of Mr. Kenga's appointment. One is written by Meg Taikenko from Energetic Presence. The other one was written by the University of Guam School of Business and Public Administration, written by Ancito Walter, Associate Professor in Public Administration. And the last one we received is testimony by Annette Santos as a private citizen in support of Mr. Kenga's nomination. Jesse, I'll now open the floor to you, and please state your name for the record.
Thank you. Hafade, Chairperson Vice Speaker Telena Nelson, Guahusi Jesse John Kenga. I come before you to seek confirmation to serve as member of the Guam Academy Charter Schools Council. I believe in the importance of education and the role it serves in moving our community ever forward. I thank our Magahaga, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, as well as their administration in their faith and confidence in nominating me as member of the GACS Council. I feel I am best fit to serve in this capacity in support of the students and the other stakeholders of Guam's charter schools, and hope my testimony this evening will articulate that. I am the proud son of Marianne Kenga, a single parent raising her twin sons. I want to take just a moment to acknowledge her very important role in raising both me and my brother. I'm often shared by a comment by people in passing that my mom ought to be proud of my brother and me. However, the truth is, I am proud of her. Thank you, Mom, for the immeasurable amount of love and countless sacrifices you have made that have allowed Anthony and I to become the men we are today. My professional career began at age 17, working for the University of Guam AmeriCorps program. As an AmeriCorps member, I mentored and tutored at-risk youth in our education system. Beyond the classroom, I had volunteered every month with the Guam Volunteer Center at their monthly community service projects, from painting guardrails in Inarahan to volunteering at a book club party for the Guam Public School Library, as well as assisting schools in getting their campus ready for the upcoming school year. After my tenure at AmeriCorps and while enrolled at the University of Guam, I was elected to serve as president of their Student Government Association. During my terms as president, I've learned how to work with shareholders to achieve a shared mission, which is to serve the students of the university. I'm grateful to have had that experience working with Board of Regents, the administration, faculty, staff, to solve student-related issues like tuition relief. I graduated with an undergraduate degree in public administration in spring 2013. Immediately after graduating, I had the privilege to work for the Guam Community College. I was a program coordinator with the College Access Challenge Grant Program. This federally funded program provides services focused on increasing access to post-secondary education for underserved populations in both middle and high school. I've had the pleasure to work with some amazing and brilliant individuals, focus on providing programs to help first-generation at-risk youth succeed in their post-secondary academic efforts. After nearly 2 years, I was well into my graduate program and decided to accept a position as a graduate teaching assistant during my final semester. At the university level, I supported the chair and faculty of the Public Administration and Legal Studies Division of the School of Business and Public Administration. We have prime faculty teaching in the School of Business and Public Administration. I acquired my graduate degree in Public Administration in 2015 and was awarded the Academic Excellence and overall SBPA Top Scholar Awards. Following my graduation, I was hired at the Department of Public Health and Social Services, Division of Public Welfare. I was assigned to the Bureau of Economic Security, which administered the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, or more commonly known as the food stamps, as well as the Certification Center for all social service programs, such as Medicaid, MIP, and welfare. While at DPHSS, I updated the SNAP manual, which hasn't been updated since the 1980s, and was consistent for a consistent citation the Bureau received after every federal site visit. I also developed a digital client check-in, which, using unused government hardware and a free online software, the kiosk eliminated the long lines at the front counter and provided the Bureau the opportunity to collect data while allowing caseworkers the opportunity to monitor client check-in and wait times. This effort alone saved the government of Guam over $500,000, which is derived from a quote the department received from a private vendor. The division chief and health services administrator later appointed me as the quality assurance and insurance officer for the Bureau. Currently, I work at the University of Guam School of Business and Public Administration as the assistant director for the Regional Center for Public Policy. The center was established with a mission to innovate and improve governance, leadership, and public policy for Guam and Greater Micronesian region. Through the center, the following reports have been published to include the 2018 Guam Economic Report, the Guam Corruption Perception Report, and the Guam Customs Study, to name a few. We have also organized large events and conferences such as the biennial Western Pacific Conference on Public Administration and Policy Solutions, the One Guam Towards Decolonization Debate, and the 2018 Gubernatorial Great Debate. We have had over 4,000 attendees present in these events, as well as over 10,000 who have viewed or watched them live or on other streaming platforms. We continue to push the envelope to live up to the mission of the center. I am passionate about what I do, and beyond my career, I enjoy being a civically involved citizen. I have the following experiences to offer the Charter School Council, having served in these capacities. In the University of Guam Staff Council as councilman, University of Guam Region Nominating Council as chair, speaker for the 26th Guam Youth Congress, commissioner for the Governor's Serve Guam Commission, commissioner for the Guam Commission on Decolonization, and as a member of the Guam Board of Education. I am also involved in the following community groups: Rotary International, E-Club of Pago Bay, where I serve as secretary; Toastmasters International, the Iina Guahan chapter, where I'm a member; and the UOG chapter of the Pi Alpha Alpha Honor Society, as its founding member and chapter president. In addition, I am an active adjunct instructor at the School of Business and Public Administration, teaching the following courses: Special Topics in Public Administration Management Strategies, Public Policy and Governance, Public Policy and Administration, Public Finance and Fiscal Policy, and Government Finance. I am confident in my abilities and believe that I will be a productive and contributing member to the Charter Schools Council, applying my experience in policy and government finance to improve the performance of the council and the schools that they oversee. After having individual meetings with current council members, as well as those recently appointed, I am heartened by their renewed sense of commitment to the council and to the students of Guam's charter schools. Additionally, I know for a fact that the appointees heard by this committee yesterday are well qualified and deserving of their appointments as well. Madam Chair, I agree with you that with limited resources, we must be accountable for public funds while maintaining the highest level of academic quality, preparing the students of Guam's charter schools for success. I would like to share the following items that I wish to address with the council should I be confirmed by this body. Establishing for the council a set standard operating procedures which will guide the council on how to respond to all issues regarding charter schools, as well as how to interact with stakeholders of the charter schools. With the support of the Guam legislature, secure adequate level of funding to establish an administrative office and hire key support staff. The council currently lacks a facility to meet and hold charter school related files and receive issues or other inquiries from the community. News reports have shown that the past chair has had difficulty turning over charter school documents and other files. All files must be secured and kept in an appropriate space. Next, the hiring of key support staff for the council to oversee the daily operation of the council. We hope that the legislature will support appropriation to the council specifically to recruit an executive director as well as an internal auditor. With the establishment of Public Law 35-29, dedicated staff would be necessary to successfully receive and prepare school invoices for council review and action. Bill 186, or the Appropriations Bill for fiscal year 2020, states that the council must submit to the Department of Administration all invoices received by the charter school, to which DOA has 10 days to respond. The budget bill further states that if the council does not act on the DOA response, DOA will automatically release the allotment to the charter school directly. Please appropriate funds necessary for the council to hire the critical staff, or consider amending the Charter School Act to evolve the members of the council to serve as part-time professional capacity rather than a board member. Next is for the council to fulfill the legal mandate to monitor the progress each school has in meeting student academic achievement expectations. Academic standards should be adopted by the council, and the council should conduct performance measure studies to ensure that schools are performing and complying with the charter requests approved by the council. The council should work towards greater transparency, looking to stream council meetings live and developing a website for the council to share news and post meeting agenda and minutes. I also believe that the council can have a greater role in promoting each school that has been awarded a charter. By working with the schools, perhaps an annual recruitment fair at minimum would be a great way to start sharing with the greater community the opportunities that can be found at any one of the charter schools. Finally, I am confident that members of the council will support developing a strategic plan for charter school education for a certain period determined by the council. I fully support the concept of the Charter Schools Act of Guam. I'm eager to get to work and look forward to the continued dialogue between the council, its constituents, and members of the Guam legislature. We have a wonderful opportunity to allow our students an alternative to public education. In closing, I am heartened by the testimonies that will be shared in written form and by everyone present this evening. I sincerely thank you all for your confidence, and I will do my best to continue to be deserving of your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse, for the testimony, and I also like to thank our Magahaga for this appointment, for acting on it in a swift manner. I appreciate your testimony, and I appreciate the outlook that you have for the council and the agenda that you have referenced. We do have some challenges with budget funding for executive director and a full-time partnership with perhaps another government entity. As for the facility, we spoke about this earlier today. Maybe there are some available spaces within DOE that we can enter into a memorandum of agreement. We know that GACS right now is occupying some of the government properties in Teton, and so perhaps maybe we can look towards those areas where you can actually have a space, an office within that property to make use of our government assets rather than to have to go rent outside and spend more money when there's obviously enough government properties that can be occupied, not only for the council, but a lot of the agencies that we function as. I really support the academic structure. One of the biggest challenges that we faced within the past couple of years was a renewal of a charter school that was unable to keep their candidacy status with WASC. And so I thank you for that, and I look forward to seeing if we can get additional appropriations to really give you a full-time employee to manage the invoices that they'll receive, the auditing that may be required. But right now in the bill, the budget bill, we have a section that represents that DOA will be the managing party for the invoices needed and to validate the charter school's requests for supplies, equipment that is needed. We all know that charter schools are backed by larger investors, and so they do have auditors within their charters to ensure that the money is being spent wisely, but you're absolutely right, we have to have some form of accountability on the government's end. So with that being said, as we discussed, we'll see how the first quarter goes, especially since it's the beginning of the school year, with the validation of invoices and the procurement process of the materials they need. And I look forward to your recommendations and the council's recommendations to see how we can better this process. And perhaps if we need to start looking at funding being put aside that we place into the charter schools, then we need to examine that as well so that the council can be fully functional. Okay? Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or?
No, I just want to thank you for your time and for allowing this opportunity for an expedited hearing. I look forward to working with you and the members of the council.
Thank you, Jess. Okay, I believe we have exhausted all our items on the agenda. It is now 5:42. Thank you, everyone, for being here and taking the time out to show your support for Mr. Kenga. It's very nice to see his family members here and seeing the wealth of experience that you have. So I have total faith in your ability to perform very well within this council. Thank you very much for answering the call for service. Thank you very much. This now adjourns our confirmation hearing. Everyone, good night and God bless.